Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Disney Johnson Bros podcast here on our newly named channel, the Disney Johnson Bros Adventures. Today, we are joined with my co-host Cam Johnson and our reoccurring guest Kade Johnson. Last time we had Kade Johnson on, we explored Disneyland Park, and today, though we already talked about it previously, we're going to have a more in-depth discussion on its sister park, Disney California Adventure. And I know what you guys are going to say. We didn't finish Disneyland. We're going to get there. We have a few episodes planned ahead of us. And I promise that we will jump back in and talk about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and Toontown. But for today's video, we're going to be talking about Disney California Adventure. And before I turn it over to my co-host Cam, I just want to say, please keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside wherever you are and tuning into this podcast. You can also check it out on Spotify. Now, Cam, take it away.
Okay, first off, please support my new video that came out about Muppet Vision 3D and the history of Muppet Vision 3D. I worked so hard on it, and it's on the YouTube channel for the past week. So check it out. Enjoy. Bye. Back to you, Goalie.
All right. Thank you for letting our viewers know about your new video. It was a fun adventure putting that together. Muppets. We'll probably talk about it a little bit in this episode today, but I love the Muppets, and I'm sure you love the Muppets.
Yeah.
Kate, I'm not sure about you and your thoughts on the Muppets, but I'm sure you like the Muppets too. But I'm excited for this episode. I'm excited to jump back in to talk about Disney. But since it's a different park, we all chose a different attraction or ride at Disney California Adventure. I'll be going first this time, talk about the ride that I chose, and then we'll have Kate and then Cam. So the ride that I chose was Radiator Springs Racers for multiple reasons. I just have a strong affinity with this ride. It's beautiful. I mentioned it in my top 10 California Adventure rides, how it has the red rocks, and it really brings me home. I'm from Southern Utah. We're all kind of from Southern Utah, and so we grew up
in Southern Utah.
And you live in Southern Utah, yeah. But we all know what those red rocks are. It's something that's very close to home for all of us. But I have one significant memory that's connected to this ride. The first trip we actually went to this ride, I got to ride it 3 times in the day that we went to Disney California Adventure. And one of those times, it was just with me and my parents. I don't know where all of you guys were. You were off doing your own thing or something. But it was me and my parents, and we all rode together. I don't know if we got some sort of fast pass or something, but it was just a fun time, and I very much enjoyed it. It just has a soft spot, and it's just a beautiful ride. You cruise along, and we'll talk more about it when we talk about Cars Land. But yeah, Kate, tell us about the ride that you chose.
Well, I don't know if it counts as a ride, but it is an attraction. It's Turtle Talk of Crust. It's just very relaxing. It's where you want to go on a hot day and cool off. And it's super fun watching the kids talk to Crust, and Crust would actually respond back. Like, I had tons of fond memories. Like, every time we go talk to Crust, because that's what our mom wanted to do, because she loved the Turtle Talk with Crust.
Mm-hmm. And for our viewers who don't know, our mom passed away just a little over a year ago, and Disneyland was her happy place. And so in a way, we dedicate this channel to her, because of her love of Disney definitely made a strong impact on all of us. And so we appreciate that impact, because it's made us all Disney nerds.
It shaped us who we are today.
Yeah, it definitely did. All right,
And it,
Cam.
it brings us close together.
All right,
Okay, my attraction is the one, the only Guardians of the Galaxy mission breakout. The Tower 2 replacement ride. The big tower that's covered in steampunk monsterness. Reason why I picked this ride is because I was one of the people that like, oh, this ride's gonna suck because they took away Tower 2. But riding it, I can say I like it better. And I also have amazing stories with it and stuff, including riding it like 5 or 6 times because Colton forced me to go because back then I am disabled. So I was able to have the disability, the DAS pass, and my brother used it as a shortcut. But no, we didn't use that as like a crutch. But also there's stories to tell that we bring
we'll
up
talk.
later.
We'll talk about those later. Yeah. Well, and I wanted to do something a little bit different with this episode compared to the Disneyland video. We had a few ideas jumping around for this video, this episode in particular, and one of the ideas that was thrown around was talking about things that can be improved or changed or right ideas that we might have. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's grab our maps and take a stroll down Buena Vista Street. So Cameron, tell us about a little bit about Buena Vista Street.
Buena Vista Street, you mean, not Buena Vista Street.
Oh, Buena Vista Street.
It is the part of the land that's based on 1920s. So Hollywood or just LA in general?
It's more so LA, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the Waltz when he came from there off the train, saying, "I have to do this." Just him in a suitcase, and a dream. And now there's a lot of callbacks in that land to Walt Disney and his there's things that inspired him back then about the area, like through the red trolley to the Coffee Circle Theater, where Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs premiered at.
Yeah. Well, awesome, Cam. Thanks for sharing a little bit of what the land is. Cade, what are your thoughts on Buena Vista Street?
I think it's also a good nod to like the growing up of Disney, like has tons of ties into its buildings. Like my favorite one is Oswald's gas station that does most of my, I don't think I'm saying that word right, but I'm going with it, is Oswald's gas station based off of my favorite character, even though I didn't grow up with him, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's just called Oswald's.
Yeah, I think it's just called Oswald's. That's what it says on the map. I have the map pulled up on my.
but I call it
I got my
gas
phone.
station.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I love Buena Vista Street, and when they announced it, I wasn't personally a fan of the whole postcard aesthetic. I think the train and stuff was cool, but like I just felt like the whole land itself felt a little tacky with the sun and all that stuff. And so making it
and very blindy. Don't forget about that. With
it was very blinding. But I felt like it was, but when they redid it, it almost felt like a compliment to Main Street. So across the Esplanade, you get Main Street USA, which was Walt's childhood, but then you take Buena Vista Street, and it was like the street of where he made his big break in creating the Disney company we know and love today. And I think it's cool to have the Carthay Circle restaurant, or they have the lounge as well. But honestly, I've seen like other concepts and things that other people have created on ways that they could improve. One that comes in mind. I don't know if you guys are familiar with park lore. They just like to they've done a few what if parks where what if they had control on the Imagineering end and were able to do what they wanted to do. And one of their ideas, I really liked it, was making something new over in Disneyland for the Snow White ride and putting the Snow White ride in the Carthay Circle Theater.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool.
Because I think it would be pretty cool. And my thought process on how it could work is like you could still walk into the elegant building that it probably was, but then it would sort of be like Mickey and Minnie's, not as whimsical.
That's what I was thinking. They could use the same thing of going into the screen, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. And so I feel like that would be pretty cool. And I personally love Snow White's Enchanted Wish. I think it definitely I mean I very much enjoyed Snow White's Scary Adventure, but I feel like Snow White's Enchanted Wish really tells the story in such an inspiring way, and I feel like it feels more closer to the movie.
I'm pretty sure you can still enjoy the Scary Adventure still, like I think Tokyo somewhere.
Tokyo still has it. Well, Tokyo's is more like what Disney World's used to be. But in I think Paris's version is exactly the same of what they did tonight, the 1983 Snow White Scary Adventure.
Dang.
Also, I have some personal thoughts about Buena Vista Street.
Okay, tell us about it.
Because I'm a person who loves old DCA, and that's my big thing. I look at Buena Vista Street and I get saddened by what I miss, but I'm glad they changed it so it does not look tacky. But it's like I'm split. Everything to do with like that area, I'm split on because I was raised on like the Sunset Plaza area with the big golden sun and the train car that had like a ice cream shop and stuff. But now it's just like it's like a main street, but a different era main street. It's a great experience it's a great opening to the park. It's not walking into something cheesy, it's walking into something beautiful.
Speaking about that, though, I remember when I went to the new California Adventure, like when they got done with Buena Vista Street. It's like walking into a brand new park. It looks totally different than how it used to be.
I'm pretty sure they redid the entranceway to look like Hollywood Studios at Disney World. So
they did in a way, but Hollywood Studios more so replicated like what a lot of the stuff you see on the in Hollywoodland on the street that you walk is more so similar to what you'd find at Hollywood Studios, whereas for Buena Vista Street it is modeled after like 1930s LA. But yes, what a part of what they did. So I'm sure you guys remember the classic California letters that they used to have in front of the park. So when they did this change, they moved forward the entrance to the park to that spot. So the original entrance of the park is roughly where Oswald's is. So that used to be where you enter the park.
Yeah.
And so it added more of like a open-esque, kind of like a little town square area. I love the little roundabout circle area. I think it looks great. And I love the Walt and Mickey statue that the park has. And I like how you can like go. It's one of my favorite things. You can go up and like take a picture in front of it. But does anyone else have anything else to say before we move on to our next land?
We can move to the next land. Are we going to Grizzly Peak area or we're going towards Hollywood?
I say we go into Hollywood because Buena Vista Street, perfectly moves into Hollywood.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And so we'll talk about Hollywoodland. And Cameron and I discussed this in our first episode of this podcast. I think Hollywoodland has a lot of good stuff. It has a lot of good potential.
Yeah.
But I feel like at the same time, it just feels like it's missing something, like it's lacking something. But so we walk down. There's the Disney theater, where it has the Disney Junior Dance Party. I've never experienced that. I grew up watching Playhouse Disney live on stage, and then Disney
Oh,
Junior.
I remember
Stage.
that.
Yeah. Kate, I'm sure you remember when they used to have Big Bear in the Big Blue House.
Oh, definitely.
And they had
I'm-
they had Big Bear in the Big Blue House. They had Winnie the Pooh, and then
Hey, Stanley.
did they have Stanley? I thought they had Roly Poly Oly.
They
They had
had,
the-
I
also-
think they had that too. They always
Okay.
switched when they had a
And they
new
also had
show.
little Einsteins.
Oh yeah, little
Oh.
Einsteins.
I do remember because they changed it a little bit. Yeah.
Every time when they release a popular show, they update the show.
Yeah, now it's
Yeah.
more so like an interactive dance party, and that's
Meet
I
and greet
feel
kind
like
of thing.
we discussed this in our other video about how like it's perfect for kids to get their energy out, get some
Yeah.
AC. But then we have the Hollywood backlot area, which I feel like out of any of the areas, I feel like it needs more, and I
Yeah.
feel like you guys might agree. We have Monsters Inc., Mike and Sully to the Rescue, which is a phenomenal dark ride in my opinion. I feel like this park doesn't have that many dark rides, but I feel like it's a good mix and definitely a lot better than what it replaced.
Even though it's it's an unskinned,
Reskin.
superstar limo.
Yeah, it's a reskin, but that's okay because
Yeah.
if you guys have seen videos of that, it looks pretty haunting, but not in the way that it would be haunting. More of the uncanny valley, uncomfortable
The
haunting.
thing is, to this day, no one would not know the characters. Like after like a couple months, you would not know the characters who they were.
Yeah. The next
Except Headley.
the next one in the area is, I mean, it's technically not in the back lot anymore. Back when it was Muppets, it was the entrance was technically in the back lot. Now it's not. But PhilharMagic. What do you guys think about that one?
You know how I feel about that.
I
You know how-
actually am happy that I actually experienced it because I always wanted to witness it, but it was always in Disney World, and I really didn't have the money to go to Disney World. So I'm happy that I experienced it in California Adventure.
Yeah, I
But-
had the opportunity to actually check it out at Disney World, the Magic Kingdom, and I thought it was cool. I think it was done a lot better at Disney World just because the theater was built for it. But I felt like if anything's gonna be in that spot, I think PhilharMagic is a good placeholder for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the underutilized stage 17. They need to have something in there. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's usually I think it's a Marvel shop or something like that.
Oh,
It
that
was a
big
mark-
that
It
big.
was a
It was-
Marvel shop, but they use it a lot for a lot of the Magic Key things. They
Yeah.
do events in there.
Yeah.
I think when they were doing all the Frozen stuff, they had some sort of Frozen thing.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, they need to have something better in there.
yeah, and it's unfortunate that like we've kind of gone beyond the time of like because during the 2010s there was a lot of they did dance parties, so they had the Color
Electronica.
Fest,
Oh, I
Like,
remember that.
and then they did Mad Tea Party,
Oh,
and I mean it was around for a decent amount of time, but not really like the amount.
I think it was just bringing in also the wrong crowds in.
Yeah, I was bringing the wrong crowds in, but it was also, I don't know. it it didn't. I don't think it got what Disney was looking for when it came
Yeah.
to what they were wanting. Yeah. Okay, well, let's move over to one of my favorite parts of the land. And I feel like there's a lot of things that could be better about this area, but um, maybe you guys can share your thoughts. But there's the Animation Academy building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love this area. One of my favorite parts is just walking in and like seeing all the screens and all the
Yes.
it plays all the different movies. And it's just like kind of a fun place to just chill for a second.
Yeah.
But like Cade mentioned, there's Turtle Talk with Crash. There's the Sorcerer's Workshop. There used to be the Be Our Guest, not Be Our Guest, but where you'd go down and like
East
figure out which
Library
character.
and Ursula's grotto thing.
Yeah, Ursula's Grotto. But and then there's like the learn how to draw. There's a lot of cool things about it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes I feel like it takes up space, but that's just my own opinion. I do think
Yeah.
it's cool.
It's
And
a
it's
good way
needed.
to get out of the heat, though.
I feel like if I had any like recommendations for it, I think it'd be cool to like add a little theater there that's more so like a preview center that it can
Yeah.
showcase upcoming movies and shows and things like that.
Okay. Let's get to the Hyperion Theater.
Cade, what are your thoughts on the Hyperion?
Hyperion. I will only remember one show that used to be there. I don't know if I seen the Frozen one, but I don't think I did. But I do remember the Aladdin show when it was there, and that
Yeah.
was an amazing show. They would have an actual, they would have like a prop of a magic carpet where they sat down and it would fly over the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It's a big theater, and it's a good place to also cool off on one of those hot days in Cali.
But
Yeah.
it's a waste of potential. I have for the original idea of this video, we were originally talking about what we would change about the park and stuff. And I'll pull that up right now on my Google Docs real quick.
While you're pulling that up, um, yeah, I agree with Kate. I loved the Aladdin show. I thought it was definitely a fun experience. And I never watched the Frozen one in person. I think I've watched it on YouTube. I still actually
Mhm.
haven't gotten around to watch Rogers when they did that over there. But
Yeah.
no, we mentioned in our last episode that it is definitely an underused
Yes.
space. And Cameron has an idea that he wanted to share about it.
But let's
So
hear it.
my idea of it is putting a Broadway production, like a shorter version of like a Broadway, one of the Disney Broadway productions, like Lion King, The Frozen, like what other ones? I don't know what other ones are coming out at the time. I think there's a Moana one that's going to be on a cruise ship or something like that. But my other idea is to put a shorter version of, like not shorter version, like Hamilton stuff, or do a jukebox Disney musical that uses Disney songs to tell a story, or have a story of Walt Disney through Disney songs
That
in
was
a way.
cool.
That would be
Yes,
interesting.
because it's like right now it's almost it's not abandoned. I think they still clean it up probably every day because it's Disney.
I'm sure they
But
still
it's
do events there. I'm sure they do
yeah,
member events.
yeah. It's
But
just it's missed potential because it has a big area, a big core lot next to it for like lining up. That right now they're using for the Deadpool story time at Deadpool.
yeah,
I've seen that. I when I go to Disneyland sometime in the future, I hope they still have it. They probably would keep it because it's a popular thing.
It's Deadpool.
yeah,
It's it makes money. They're
yeah.
also putting Deadpool on the cruise ships.
But
Oh,
does
that's fun.
that also tie into the next land we're going to?
Yes, that does. We're going to be talking about Avengers Campus. Um, Kade, tell us your thoughts on Avengers Campus.
For at first when I heard about it, I was sad because I loved the land before it, the Bugs Life
Yeah.
land, the Heimlich Choo Choo train, and all that. Tough to beat a bug, but I enjoy it. Like, yeah, web slingers hurts your hands, but it's still an entertaining ride. And Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah, that counts as the part of the land now. That's a good ride too.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And one of my favorite things about the land, I mean, I love Guardians. It's my favorite ride in the park.
Yeah.
But I love the characters roaming around. I
Yes.
feel like that adds so much life to the land. And the thing I like about this that works well versus Galaxy's Edge, which we'll talk about that when we eventually jump over to that land. But I feel like they place Avengers Campus in sort of a timeless period. So it's not,
Since it's multiversal.
yeah, but it's not just multiversal. It just they're not set to canon and
Yeah.
those sort of expectations there, and so it's easier to
Tie
see
in
all
new
the different
characters.
characters. So you can see
Yeah.
Iron Man, you can see Black Widow, but you can also see Spider-Man, Deadpool, all these characters.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight, yeah. I mean, it was cool to see Loki and Thor. I
And
just,
also could see if they doing Halloween time.
I remember I got a picture with Loki.
yeah. But it's a cool land. But what we were also mentioning, me and Cameron did, um, was how this land also sort of feels empty, but that's going to change because
Yeah.
the things they announced at D23, and they're actually already starting construction on that, which is
Yeah.
awesome. That means it's getting somewhere, and
The multiverse ride and the stock arm lifting mumble
yeah,
jumble.
yeah. I think the Avengers, I can't remember what it's called, like something
The-
defense or whatever.
The e-ticket. The Marvel e-ticket ride.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a blast, and I think it's fun to have a new flat ride,
Yeah.
and it seems like it's going to be a lot more thrilling compared to some of the other kid dark rides.
I got some.
I also do think Web Slingers is fun, and I wonder when um the new rides open if they'll like refurbish it a little bit and add sequences from the new ride.
I
got
just
some
hope
thoughts.
I
Go on,
just
Dave.
hope that the new Iron Man ride won't make me like dizzy and stuff like that.
So I got some thoughts about Avengers Campus.
Okay, what's your
One is the experience we had in Avenger Campus with the whole waiting in line. If we had to wait in line a little bit, to making jokes in line, that was fun. To also, I have a strong disliking to web slingers due to the fact it's just a screen based ride, and I have wrote down in my notes that the way to make it better is you can still keep the screen aspects, but they should make it like better with some aspects having also like more physical elements. Because the problem with the screen-based things, it gets dated for one, and two, it gives you a headache.
What about Toy Story Mania?
Toy Story Mania is different because that is like, how do you say it? It makes more sense with screens, but web slingers like thing, but also web slingers, it is a video, so they can always update it and further things to like a more like, I think did Toy Story Mania update, I think once something like that for a new scene towards Toy Story 4 or something.
I
Story
believe so.
3?
I have no idea.
Yeah. So they
I'm
can always
surprised-
update and stuff.
I'm surprised they didn't update it again when Toy Story 4 came out and like
Yeah.
added Forky or something like that. But
Yeah. It's a missed opportunity, but I'm a person who I miss Bugs Life Land too because old DCA is everything to me. But the fact that Avengers Campus is getting better, and they're also because adding the 2 new attractions, and also it is more immersive than Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It's kind of sad, but I'm actually starting to slowly enjoy this section of the park a lot more. And Guardians, it also puts funny faces on your face. Please put that in the video of all reactions to it.
Are like the pictures.
Yes.
I'll try to put it into the video.
I will message you and remind you to do so.
With Guardians, I enjoy the Easter eggs from different past attractions in it.
Yeah, Kade, do you enjoy the queue?
Yeah, the queue is amazing.
Because we have it's not a Disney Johnson Bros podcast without having some sort of funny story. And today's funny story involves Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm sure Kate has no idea what we're talking about because
Oh no, no, no,
So-
don't talk about that.
we indulged. But we this created one of the biggest family inside jokes.
Now
whole trip.
me and my
There-
wife don't even do that anymore.
Yeah. Sure.
We don't.
We're not trying to make it sound naughty.
It isn't naughty at all.
It's not naughty. Kate and Maya are affectionate in the way they like, what is it called, Kate?
What?
What is it called?
I'm not gonna say it.
It was called nuzzling.
Oh, nuzzling. That's what it was. I just couldn't remember what it was. But it's kind of hard to demonstrate. We probably won't demonstrate, but it's okay.
I would
But
demonstrate it with one of my passions.
Yeah. But it just calls for an awkward but funny moment.
Yeah.
We like to make fun of Cade for it and his wife Maya.
It's also the same day that I proposed to my wife, so it's the funniest.
It just, I don't know.
Well, if we're talking about funny moments, want me to bring up the funny moment in?
No, we'll move on.
Nope.
I was
Let's-
gonna say
okay,
in
let's-
talk of Quest, Cameron.
Okay,
Oh,
let's
we're gonna move on to the next land.
let's move to where's the map? Let's go to the map. Boopity boopity boop. Let's
thought
move to
Kate,
let's move.
I thought you were talking about the time that Cameron pissed himself in line for Tower of Terror.
I haven't
shook
done-
the thing.
You were like how old? Like 7?
Who,
Okay,
me?
I had a bladder infection back then, but okay. Next we should talk about the park that Colton and Kay didn't know about until like me doing the research for the video.
Yeah, you tell us about this non-existent land like that. I didn't even know.
This land that exists because it says on the map. I think it's called
Performance Corridor.
Corridor.
What?
It's like the place where food and wine garden stuff happens like that, and also like the winery and Blue Skies used to be.
That's a land?
It's a land. It
Apparently.
counts as a land. It's the most forgotten land. But me being the person who did the research because I actually love California Adventure.
You are the DCA.
It is a waste. It is the waste of space of Disney California Adventure.
Well, I mean, okay, you say that though, Cam. But you also have to think, what is California Adventure for? Like what's one of the
Yeah.
biggest things that happen every single year?
The food events.
Food events. And I mean, it would my brain would be like, yeah, let's get rid of it and expand San Francisco, put in a Big Hero 6 dark ride.
I was bringing that up in a minute.
Oh, okay.
So
Go
let's bring
ahead.
that up in a minute.
Oh,
Since we're moving to San Francisco also because that's this month's ball. My idea for the whole San Francisco and this area was to bring a dog ride from Big Hero 6, or they can do the Tokyo route and bring a flat ride because the one in Tokyo, people just come to the park just to dance around and go, and it's the most cool thing to see.
Remind me what the
also-
flat ride was?
It is, let's say, Baymax
It's-
flat ride.
yeah, my thing is I don't think they would do that. For one, they
No.
have the same exact ride. as Mater Radiator Spring or the
Yeah.
ride.
It's the
Kinda
same ride.
true.
So it's
But they-
basically it's
I
called like
say-
a cousin pool.
I say they can also just add a dog ride for it, like an awesome themed dog ride towards just the Big Hero 6 universe.
I think
the
Emotion
motion
Simulator
simulator ride.
thinks
What?
That would be sick.
me and Kate said the same thing at the same time.
That would be a cool idea. Like a Star Tours ride. Or they could probably bring a new thing, like a dog ride. I'm not talking a simulator ride mixed with a shooter.
Nah, that's called a Millennium Falcon.
No, not in that aspect. Not in that aspect. Like in a better aspect. Not the cringe mode of that one. I haven't even
No,
looked
but
that ride, so I don't know.
I see where you're coming from, and
Yeah.
my thing is yes, I think it would be great to like transform it into more Big Hero 6 because I love Big Hero 6. I think it's a phenomenal movie,
I enjoyed the TV show.
but it's the fact that the food and wine is such a significant part of this park that like they've brought it back year by year, and that's usually when they bring back another ride we'll talk about later. But yeah.
So also my thoughts on San Francisco. I actually love San Francisco. I know
You
I
haven't
used
even been there.
exactly. I have seen videos because Big Hero 6. If you saw last week's podcast, go back and listen. I talked about Big Hero 6 for a good 10 minutes, I think.
It's one of your favorites, isn't it?
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And just
Yeah.
having Baymax actually in the park and also
He
keeping
loves
the
Baymax.
aspects of the old the wharf area, but turning it into like a San Francisco mix of Tokyo theme makes it a lot better. And
See, my thing about San Francisco Tokyo Square is I feel like it's just a glorified food court, and
it is,
it takes a very great IP and just slaps it on. Like, I mean, it's great to add theme, and I think the fact that it's San Francisco, I mean, that's California-ish themed.
But the thing is, I say in the next 5-6 years they're gonna change the name of California Adventure. So
I mean, it very much they could do that, but
like they did to Paris.
I'm
also,
still not confident.
it was a given that San Francisco Wharf was going to turn into San Francisco.
Well, it used to be, it was called the Pacific Wharf, I think.
Oh yeah, Pacific Wharf.
Yeah, and
They
I'm
had
glad
the Toya factory and the bread tour. I think they still have the bread tour.
I'm glad they still have the bread tour.
They still have the bread tour, and they still, I mean, Ghirardelli's, which, Kate, did you ever go to Ghirardelli's when you went to San Francisco?
I don't think so. I know I went to the bread factory.
And there was an actual bread factory in
Yes,
San
there was an
Francisco?
actual bread factory.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that. What's something else that you did in San Francisco, Kate, that's pretty cool that me and Cam haven't done? That could relate to this podcast.
Rainforest Cafe was cool.
That's not what I was asking, but
We're talking about your journey through the Walt Disney Museum.
You're talking about the
Walt Disney Museum.
Oh, the Walt Disney Museum. Okay, I thought you were talking about something else.
I don't want to.
Yes, the Walt Disney Museum was amazing.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I really want to go out there and experience.
And they also have the thing where they made the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs on, in the actual display.
We talked a little bit about that last week, the multi-plane camera.
Yes. You should go listen, Cade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the old version of it, the Pacific Wharf, was also amazing with the nice tortilla factory that you get free tortillas. We talked about it in our first podcast, so I'll bring it back. only but they used to get a bag of tortillas, flour or corn. And also had that one video, the video for it. And that video, I once every couple months I turn on that video because of that one. What's that line in the video?
Let me see. Let's see. I'll pull it up on YouTube. You might not be able to hear it.
I don't even remember the line. It was so long ago.
I know, I forgot about that. I like unlocked like a memory in my head.
Yeah, well, it unlocked a memory of how much I freaked out because they didn't have flour tortillas, but they had corn tortillas.
I do remember that. Well, one time it was my birthday and they didn't give me any, but that's just my luck, I guess. Sometimes we'd fake that it was our birthdays just so we could get.
Remember the
Yes.
bread we used to get?
Yeah. Well, I remember they've given like that was a very rare thing though, is getting like a full loaf of like sourdough, but you don't always would like. I think going at like the end of the day or something like that could warrant that. I think what would be
I found it. Masaka.
I remember. Yeah, that was a fun time. I definitely do remember that. But
And
I
they had the
think
little pecan and stuff with them.
what I think would be really cool if they were ever to replace the bread factory is it because they definitely have the technology to do this, and they can use similar technology to what they do at Spider-Man. Is they could have Aunt Cass do like a baking thing or a cooking thing or whatever, or like it could be like her bakery tour, and it would.
Yeah.
That even work. It's not even in Avengers Campus.
But the thing about Big Hero 6 though is like it's
Aunt Cass. I was thinking Aunt May.
no.
I'm so stupid.
No, Aunt Cass from Big
Okay,
Hero
now
6.
I get it.
Yeah, but don't you think that would be cool if they did like a little?
Man, now all the viewers are gonna laugh at my stupidity.
But don't you think that would be cool if they had like a
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't change the bed place, but like also like, or if they ever get if like the contract with Ghirardelli's went out, they could do that,
That's true.
and they could bring
Yeah.
the restaurant her place.
Because that is true. The bread factory is pretty popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's move. Let's get our kicks on Route 66 and go to Cars Land.
Dun, dun.
Want to take us away and talk? Well, no, I'll talk about Cars.
You talk. I've been talking a lot.
Yeah,
about
you
things.
talked a lot. You are the DCA
I haven't
guy,
been
but
talking a whole lot.
You talked about Avengers Campus.
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay. So Cars Land, they announced this back when they announced the big plan for California Adventure. And I think it's one of the most stellar parts of the park, not only with its stunning beauty, but also just it's one of the greatest places in the park to go at night, especially like right as it's getting dark and seeing all the lights light up,
in the song Shaboom turns on.
the music.
Life could be a
And
dream.
I did want to ask before, like, so there's the ride, so there's Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, and then the Luigi's Rockling Roadsters. But I wanted to pick your guys' brains. Did you guys experience when it was the flying tires?
Yes.
It didn't
Me,
last that long.
me and Kate wrote it together.
Yeah.
And we went from one section to one corner and we got stuck in that corner the rest of the ride.
Yeah, it definitely was a failed ride. I'm glad they utilized the trackless technology. Fun fact, did you know, I might be wrong, his Tower Terror technically is trackless, especially over at Disney World, has like a whole trackless segment. But at Disneyland, the Rockling Roadsters is the first trackless ride at the Disneyland Resort. And I
That's
find
funny.
that so funny. Now there's Mickey and Minnie's, and then there's
And
Ride.
Rise of Resistance.
But yeah, I just find that funny. And I thought it was a pretty
Yeah.
fun ride and a lot more thrilling than I anticipated it to be.
Mhm.
It throws you around quite a bit.
Definitely
Yeah.
better than flying tires.
Yeah. And then there's the masterpiece of a ride, Radiator Springs Racers, which I love this ride for multiple reasons, like mentioned earlier. But what are your guys' thoughts on this ride?
Okay, I'll go first because I love the movie Calls and it's California Adventure. I love this. I love this attraction. I love this land. This is out of all my lands and probably the Disneyland Resort. This has to be my top favorite out of the theming, the atmosphere, the Calls movies are my favorite Pixar series, and also the food is amazing, and also just, it also has a very tied to my other content creating thing, my TikTok account. I do classic Call kind of style content, so going from that and having a whole land based on Calls, it's just like, and also has very, very, very good mac and cheese bacon cones. Recommend it. Recommend their food, and you just look sideways. So I don't know why, but if you ever go to Carlsland, get one of the mac and cheese cones.
Have you ever had I've never had it. I've wanted to try it. But
What?
they have the chili corn cone.
No,
stuff.
I was gonna try. I was gonna try that later that night, but instead I think we just got corn dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. Cade, what are your thoughts on Radiator Springs Racers?
Radiator Springs Racers, they did an excellent job, especially with the same technology of a ride. Like, I never rode it myself, but I've seen videos of Test Track.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing ride, and they did an excellent job with the animatronics and scenery. And the whole land, they did a good thing for detail, and also with the backdrop so you don't see the outside of the park. It really ties you into the land.
It's the one attraction that I wish I can break down in the inside portion. So bad. I
But
want to
the-
explore.
But the outside of it is amazing at night.
Yeah. I just love that inside area. It's like if I can, people say, oh, if I can find one place to sleep at the Disneyland Resort, I can arrive, which one would be? I think I'll sit there. I think I'll just bring a folding chair and just sit there all day.
See, I feel like for me though, I mean, when you're riding the ride, it kind of has that cozy feel. And I'm not
Yeah.
someone who's terrified of animatronics, but like, I think the Cars animatronics are low key kind of scary.
I don't think that.
What?
I don't know why. They're just like off putting.
No, the scariest car animatronic is definitely man, what's the name of the harvester?
Frank?
Is it
Yeah,
Frank?
Frank.
I think it's Frank, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the terrifying
I mean,
one.
it is kind of a jump scare in the ride. But I don't know. I
Also,
don't know what it is.
out of the two like modifications, I think there's one superior than the other. The lowrider one with Ramon.
Mm-hmm. Wait, no.
The one because the other one, the Luigi's, the effect half the time doesn't work.
That's
and that's
No,
what
but
sucks.
it's still cool. And I like Guido.
yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna jump into probably my least favorite land of the park,
Mhm.
which is Pixar Pier. Cameron,
This one's so.
do you want to talk about Pixar Pier or just Cade?
Yes. Kay, do you want to talk about the garbage flop of Pixar Pier?
It's not that bad of a.
Okay, then talk about it.
Oh, yes, I do see the insults because it's just a reskin of Paradise Pier. But I think it fits well for if they are trying to rebrand Disney California Adventure into like a Disney Adventure Park, then it fits well. Like, yes, the Incredicoaster does have cool effects, but I do miss Screaming in Toy Story Mania. It fits well now into the park. And also Emotional Whirlwind, like they just it's a good job what they did with the old Flick Flyers and turn it into a brand new ride for a brand new theme.
Yeah.
Okay, I would talk about this now. Now let's
Okay.
go to the opposite. Why it's the cheesiest land in all of Disney. Because the Pixar property of Toy Story is it's very cheesy topic, like a very cheesy like franchise. And the Incredicoaster is the worst retheming of Disney history because instead of they could have done the Incredicoaster right with actual moving elements and stuff and made it a lot better. They just put statues everywhere, and now you have to deal with if you're going to go to like Pixar Pier, and just sit around, all you can see is little Jacks on top of the roofs. Little Jack here,
Yeah,
little
it was
Jack there.
so
Here we
dumb.
go, there we go, all little Jack. And also, I hate that they changed the name of the Mickey's Fun World to the Pixar Power Round.
And they
Because
kept
it's
making
not
call-
face on there.
they have Mickey's face. It makes no sense.
I still
can-
call it the Mickey's Fun Wheel.
Oh, who doesn't? The Pixar Power Round is the most stupidest name. And also, the Critter Carousel, I see how it is, but it's just how cringy the whole atmosphere
Well,
of.
We didn't even
Pixar
get to
Pier.
ride it. We waited for like 2 minutes and then it broke down. We're like, we'll skip it.
Yeah, but Emotional Whirlwind, I can't hate on that ride due to the fact of that's the ride after I proposed my wife. We rode it and we had
No, I
we,
think
we,
I think it's cute. I like it.
yeah.
It
I don't-
also
And Toy Story-
it also, if you remember Bugs Life Land, it also brings you fond memories back from it.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's cute. But yeah, I don't know. I like Toy Story Mania. I do think that's a good ride.
Very competitive of a ride.
I felt like as a kid, I felt that California Screamin' was a very thrilling roller coaster. But like when I rode, maybe it's where I sat when I rode Incredicoaster, I just felt like the experience was very underwhelming. And like it's still not, mind you, it's still a fun roller coaster and it still has its thrills, like with it having its loop and the bunny hops and stuff. But like I just felt like I don't know.
I
I-
could understand the story makes no sense.
Yeah, it's just kind of messy. But
Yeah.
that's why, in my opinion, I think it will be better when they bring in Coco to not put it in Pixar Pier because I honestly think Coco deserves its own little mini area, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe honestly, I don't know if there's definitely not the space for it, which I wish there was.
Bringing back Heimlich Choo Choo Train.
No, but where with the performance corridor where we talked about earlier, that would be cool if they made that into like a little bit of like a
The Coco area.
yeah. But I personally think that they're gonna move that to Disneyland Forward, and that's what my thoughts are. But
Yeah, it's going to. It's going. It's
I feel like with the ideas that they're going for, especially when they say it's going to be like a blend of Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean with it being Coco.
it's an
I
old
think-
style. It's what old dark rides used to be, like pirates and stuff.
I think it's going to be a lot more grand than people are thinking it's going to be, and that's good. And I appreciate
Yeah.
the level of grandeur that they're going for. But does anyone else have
Okay.
any other thoughts for Pixar Pier itself?
I don't
No,
think so.
let's move to
Pixar Park?
Paradise. Let's move to
Paradise
Paradise
Park?
Garden Park.
I like Paradise Garden Park. I think it still keeps that the original Paradise Pier, not original Paradise Pier, aesthetic. But when they did the remodel, I honestly liked the refresh of Paradise Pier, and I like the old carnival, not carnival, but the old boardwalk style.
Yeah.
It has one of my favorite restaurants, in my opinion, and I'm sure Kate agrees. The board
Or where
pasta.
to get the pasta.
Yeah. And
I feel like if I have any gripe with this area, it would be
Jumping jellyfish.
I think jumpy jellyfish is fine. But
I wait till I can talk because I have a lot of things to say about this area.
but I don't like Goofy Sky School. I did as a kid, but now that I've gotten older,
It's very janky.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I love, and then I personally love the Golden Scepter. I think that one's a fun one.
Yeah.
Even though it's not open all the time.
Yeah, but I got to ride it when I went last, and so that was good.
I like Symphony Swings.
I like those too. I mean, I have on my hat. Actually, I don't even think it's Symphony Mickey, but
It's
yeah,
great.
I got-
Mickey Mouse
I got
Club
this new
Mickey.
hat. It's pretty cool. But I love Little Mermaid.
Yes.
Little Mermaid's a
Um,
fantastic dark ride. Cameron will try to fight against
I
it.
have a whole thing about it. I have a whole thing about it.
The
They
Cameron's
did
wrong.
a
Just
good
before
job.
Cameron
I
jumps
feel
in,
like
he's
it's
wrong. I think it's a much needed dark ride for the park. I love how it's the ride system. I do think how it's executed in the Magic Kingdom is a lot more well themed, but I still think this ride is a good ride. Though it does sort of feel out of place, and I'm sure in Fantasyland it would make more sense. But I feel like for what it is great. And I love the exterior of the attraction.
It looks like an aquarium.
I never really thought about it, but it does. It does look like it could be an aquarium.
Okay.
Now poop on my thoughts.
First, I'm going to talk about the good things about Paradise Garden. One thing, I have very sentimental value due to the fact that's why I proposed to my wife, because during that time they have like the what's it called, the Mexican area.
Yeah, well,
That
they have like an Encanto.
thing, like at this gazebo
Yeah.
that goes there. I proposed to my wife there, and also it is what I miss about the old California Adventure. That's like still trying to crawl back, and it's like that. My thoughts on the Little Mermaid attraction. I think it's hot Dooku because it's the fact that I don't hate the attraction as being an attraction. I just hate in the area. It just does not fit for me. It would have fit if they kept the old theme of Paradise Pier and stuff with the King Triton and stuff. But since doing it, it does not. My idea, it still doesn't fit, but it's not my idea. It's my wife's idea. I'm just gonna take it and pocket it. Put a Hercules attraction there. Keep the carts, but change them into chariots.
How would that work? How would that fit?
I feel like
was
it's
like-
out of place.
Yeah,
I think it would fit fine. I think it would fit
I
fine.
think here's my thought, Cam.
What?
If they let's say they went out of their way and incorporated Pixar Garden Park or Paradise Garden Park and kind of expanded Pixar Pier, okay? What they could do with the garden park areas, relatively keep it the same, or find a way to continue to expand it, and then they'll move into its own little Coco area. But then for the rides that are there, I'm sure they can find a way to retheme Jumping Jellyfish into something else. I'm sure they can find a way to retheme the swings into something else. And then Goofy Sky School, they get themed up.
I could always think of one for Jumping Jellyfish.
But then hear me out. Though it wasn't that much of a popular movie, I think it'd be cute if they were to change the Little Mermaid into a Luca dark ride.
No, I like Little
Well,
Mermaid.
that actually would.
No, my idea for what they should change Jumping
or
Jellyfish to, Souls, the Disney movie Souls.
I was
No.
gonna say Finding Nemo, like
Yeah,
keep
Cameron.
a jellyfish.
Finding Nemo.
Screw Finding Nemo.
But that's what I was gonna say. Or they could get rid of the submarines, which we'll talk about in another video. And then make a
Yes.
dark ride of Finding Nemo. Because they already have the shells.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, and they could get rid of the worst plague at Disneyland for someone who has sensory issues.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Okay.
Nemo.
Well, Kid, do you have any other thoughts on this area?
I think you guys talked enough. Yeah, I already put my 2 cents about Little Mermaid, that I enjoyed it. Goofy Sky School I enjoyed, but it's janky. I'm not a fan of Jumping Jellyfish. I like the swings, and I love the pasta. Oh, and the Golden Zephyrs, I like it when it's actually working.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
It's not that it doesn't work. It has a weird operating schedule just because sometimes they get people to ride it, sometimes they don't.
Especially it can't run in the rain.
Yeah.
Okay, let's now move to the most spookiest part of the
Not
area.
spookiest. I think this is
At night,
honestly near
at night.
I think it's near perfect.
It's nice
I-
at night.
Okay, let's moved to Grizzly. One second. Grizzly
Yeah.
Peak.
Yeah, Grizzly Peak.
Okay, Grizzly Peak, the area, the home to Soarin', and the home to Grizzly Rapids, and the home to the Adventure Trail. The area that is
Correction,
themed-
actually the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail.
Okay. I don't care. But this area is one of the most themed areas that is like nice to walk down. It's not an area that's like, it's like Cars Land. You feel like you're walking through like a national park area. But it's on
It's
the other side of the
quiet, it's serene.
But
Has
the
one of
only
the
thing
greatest
is,
rides in the park.
And sometimes you could
Yeah.
see cats roaming around.
That's true.
it's
That's
also
more.
next to the most beautiful Disney hotel at the property.
That's true. It fits very well in because it's like it feels like it's a national park, but it feels like you look at the Grand California and it's
Yeah.
like it's almost like a lodge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love Grizzly River Run. I'm sure we all share this thought. This ride would be so much better if they just added like bear animatronics. I know they could.
Brother Bear animatronics.
Not Brother Bear.
Now that'll be epic, even though it hasn't got much love these days.
No, I don't think I love Brother Bear. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think to have it like because like Jungle Cruise doesn't have any bears because there's no like I mean there's technically bears in the jungle because there's Baloo the bear in Jungle Book, but no, I think having like a scary bear animatronic would be lit. But like it'd be fun to have a little bear trying like
But it'll be close to Knott's Berry's rapid ride.
I haven't been on the new rapid ride since they redid it. But
Yeah. The thing is, they changed it from a theme of like we used to be like a water rapids, like what's it called? Like a more of a sports theme to now it's like a explore theme.
yeah, and I like it. And then there's Soarin', which I prefer Soarin' over California, and I don't think it's not a gone attraction. It comes back every year. They've been doing it the last few years.
Yeah.
But one thing I would say, if I were to change anything, I would get rid of the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail, or at least condense it a little bit. And then I would bring in an updated version of the Country Bears Jamboree.
Or dog ride.
I experienced that out in Disney World, and I absolutely loved it. And I've seen videos of the new version, but I just feel like the Country Bears need
It will fit well.
Yeah, and
I think they should.
back.
I think they should remove it and make it a dog ride.
What
Just
kind of
saying.
dark ride?
This is why I was thinking about putting like an up ride, but I'm like that won't fit because of the fact that up is in the what's it called? The Amazon, like not Amazon, the South America area,
But you could,
not the
take an original story where, because
yeah.
it he could want to adventure to different national parks or
That's kind of
Or
true.
okay, you know the thing is, grow up Russell a little bit and have it have his adventure being like a person, an explorer, because he explores as a child, he explores as like a young adult.
no, we gotta have the cute
No.
little.
Yeah, you got to have the cute, chubby cheek.
But the problem is the guy who played Carl is sadly passed away.
That's true.
There's always voice actors, like other
that-
like voice
Yeah,
impressions.
I see what I know what you're saying, Kate, too. But
But I actually thought of a memory bringing up this land that I all like since I was little. I don't do it anymore since I know better. But when I was little, they have this like burger place next to Shoren.
oh, like the grill place.
Yes. And every time because they would have like this salad bar type of thing for your burgers, and I would take the lettuce and put it on a napkin and take it out, and I
that is highway robbery. How dare you?
I was a kid. Yeah, when I got older, of course I got a talking to when I tried to do it again, but I
You
don't
talked
do it.
Highway robbery.
Did you have a cast
do it
member come up
anymore.
to you?
Huh?
Did you have a cast member come up to you, Cade?
No,
Oh, okay,
no.
That would be
but
funny. That would have been funny.
that would have been funny.
At least you're not talking about the story about Soren. That's good.
We
What?
could get to that,
No, we're skipping it.
please.
With Mick Shorty Pants, we've already embarrassed
No,
Cade enough.
no, with Dr. My Stews.
Okay, let's talk about the Hidden Land card. There's none.
So before we end, and we got to talk about the elephant in the room. That's not even an elephant, but it's more of a banshee. Is that what they're called? In
Yeah.
Avatar?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where's the elephant?
Oh, there's not actually an elephant camp.
Oh, I
But
thought okay.
The Avatar land. What do you guys think about the Avatar land?
I'm excited because the thing is, the dark ride's not going to be like the boat ride they're going to add is not like going to be like the one at Disney World. It's more going to be like Pirates of the Caribbean in Shanghai.
I heard there's
Oh.
much with it too.
What do you say? What you say? It cut off a second.
Oh, they're gonna take it up a notch.
Yeah, it's going to be terrifying. That's what I've seen.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be towards the next two movies kind of thing where it gets a lot darker, and I won't be surprised that Disney makes probably one of them rated R,
I don't think they would make it rated R.
or just have a disclaimer.
They had Deadpool.
Yeah, but Avatar, no. Cade, what do you think about the Avatar land?
I'm excited. I've seen videos of the attractions on YouTube at Animal Kingdom.
It's gonna be a whole different land, Cade.
I know it's going to be a whole different land, but if they did add the boat ride like they had in Animal Kingdom, like kept it as it is, I'm sorry, I will fall asleep during that ride.
Yeah.
No, Cade. If you fall asleep in the one they're adding,
No, not that one.
I would
I
be
know,
I would be
Cade,
worried for you.
Yeah.
I would because just have you seen videos of Pirates of the Caribbean in Shanghai? That's one of the parks I want to go after I go to Tokyo in the next couple of years. I'm trying to go to all Disney stuff. I'm
I
going
want
on a
to go to
Disney cruise
Paris.
soon, so I'm going on a Disney cruise soon. So I'm trying to mark down all the Disney spots. And
I
my
want to
beautiful
go to Disneyland Paris.
I think Paris would be cool. My go-to would be Tokyo. I want to go to Tokyo really bad.
that's the closest Disney park to me.
Maybe that'll be a fun topic, is talking about the international parks that we've all watched Disney ride videos on, and talk about the rides we like about those parks.
And wish we can go.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance
Well,
to go with you, but that's a whole
This has
story.
been fun, a fun adventure, if you will, to Disney California Adventure.
Yes.
And I think it was a good time jumping in and talking
Yes,
about
it was.
this park. I love California Adventure, and I'm glad we were able to talk about it again. Um, it's definitely a good time. We have a new series on the channel, and with Cam himself,
Yes.
where we did have the Muppet video, and we'll have more videos coming out soon.
Trying to get more out.
Yeah, I think we'll do a video with me and Cam doing one of the other extinct attractions.
I think we're planning on doing Tower 2, yeah, like the week of Halloween.
Yeah,
For
Tower
sure.
there. Maybe we'll have Cade come in for Bugs Life Land, because I know your affinity to Bugs Life Land.
I love Bugs Life Land.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really love making this podcast. I think it's so much fun.
Yes.
We actually do have another video coming up that isn't related to Disney California Adventure, and I think we'll all be part of this one. It will be a few weeks ago I did my Tiki Room video. So next we'll be doing, actually, the preface this, on my other channel, Empty Popcorn Bucket Productions, I just barely released a movie review of Nightmare Before Christmas. And so it is the holiday season, Halloween in particular. So while it is the holiday season, we'll be talking about Haunted Mansion Holiday in a video, and we'll sort of do a overview and review of that ride. So stay tuned for that, everybody. I'm gonna have my other people on this say any last words, and then I'll close it up.
Okay. One thing is watch the Muppet video. I know I mentioned it a couple times, but please watch the Muppet video. It took a lot of effort and a lot of research to do, and a lot of hard things to have to focus on it. And also, let us know what you want to see us talk about in the podcast, or what things you want to bring up in the comments, or just, I don't know, if you're one of our close friends, just message us. we want to know what to do, because these podcasts takes a long time to just set up and have the topics.
Yep. Okay, do you have anything to say?
Like and subscribe.
Thanks, Kate. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it. And I hope you like the new name and the new logo for the channel. If you're watching the video of this, it would probably be on the bottom of your screen. But if not, I hope you're listening on Spotify. But again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful, magical day. Like, subscribe, and please share the podcast. It means a lot. This is definitely a passion project for all of us, and we want to continue doing it. And it is definitely time consuming, but it's something that we will continue to do. And if you're interested to be on an episode, please let me know. We have a few guests lined up for the next few weeks, and so I'm excited.
And just let us know if you want to see Cade come back for another podcast episode.
No, Cade will be back. Don't worry. We'll bring him back for videos, and we'll bring him back for
some podcasts.
When we eventually talk about when we talk about Galaxy's Edge and Toontown. So he'll be back. Don't worry. So have a wonderful day, magical day. Bye.